Now, anyone who thinks that Renault has lost its design mojo will soon change their mind when they see this car here. It's the new Megane Coupe. I'm here with Mark Sillet, who's in charge of the Megane project. And Mark, I mean, this model is very, very different than the 5-door. Why did you decide to do such a different car?
We did decide it because definitely we wanted to reach a different customer. We wanted in particular to reach the young urban male, I would say 25, 35 years old, a little, let's say, wanting to show off himself, to express his personality, and who also is a little techno fan, so to speak, unlike sport and dynamic driving. With this car, that is definitely not a 3-door version, but has its own personality, we believe we can reach new customers, attract them to the brand Renault, and be very successful in gaining, let's say, a better image amongst those population.
Now, I definitely think it looks very sporty. And I have to point out, this is not the Renault Sport version. It will get even more sporty when the hot model comes out, and already it looks quite racy. How many parts does it actually share with the 5-door? I mean, in terms of visually, what's different and what's the same?
What I would say is, in particular, if you look at the car from the front, the only parts that are the same are the headlamp, the bonnet, and the aisle. All the rest is different from what is seen from the outside. And obviously, all the platform is the same. The exception is the fact that it's a little lower by 12 millimeters, and the chassis is tuned to be more sporty, in particular.
Okay, so basically, it's visually almost completely different, and the chassis slightly sportier, so it'll give you a more exciting drive. Now, I do have one last question for you. The roof is very tapered. Now, that must surely compromise rear headspace. Does it?
Well, I think, you know, as I said, our customer is also having its own life, and he needs to transport his friends to go to the pub. So you have a real 3 seats on the back side, and when he wants to go to sport, he has to carry on his luggages, and also here you have space enough. So it's a compromise between this sporty design, but also day-to-day practicability.
Okay, so it sounds like it does have quite a bit of space in the back, but the only way to find out for sure is to go check it out. So let's go over and have a sit in one. Right, and let's see what it's like in the back. Seems reasonably spacious, but definitely my head, see that? If I was any taller, I'd be brushing my hair all across the lining of the roof here. So it does feel quite cosy, and that's a polite way of putting it, really. And this rear window is rather tiny, that it's actually quite dark in the back here. But, you know, if that's a problem for you, then there's always the 5-door, and let's go check that out. Yeah, but as I'm getting closer to it, I'm getting more and more disappointed, because compared to the coupe, it's a little bit bland, it's a little bit plain, and to tell you the truth, I'd rather forsake a little bit of headroom for my rear passengers than drive around in a rather anonymous looking family hatchback.